Hello everyone. So till the last video we have seen that okay we can do the basic steps of recon. This is the second part, right? So let me name it double S second, right? We are going to the second section of it. So a lot of you have asked that visual recon can really help us. So yep, definitely. Visual recon can help you in multiple ways. If you just take a look on the real life applications, then it might be doing in multiple ways. Like you might be able to, you are not easily able to scroll all the 5,000 subdomains, 10,000 subdomains, or all the acquisitions, their subdomains. So that's easily a very big scope. And working with a big scope is a very good thing. We need to understand how we can do all these things. So while working with the big scope, all these types of things are way helpful. So let's take a look on it. How can we do this visual recon thing? If I go to my terminal, we just go to Tesla, right? We were doing the Tesla in the last sessions. So let me see how many files I have. Okay, I have a good number of files. If I take a look on how many subdomains I have, alive ones. So these are, I guess, some sort of sorted subdomains. If we include this, other things like, let's see, if we include the other acquisitions and all this type of things, it might be increased to a very good number. You all know how to find acquisitions and all these things, right? I have told you how to do all these things. The mask commands and all these things are here. So now visual recon is very simple. We have made a whole described and a way, deep way to explain the visual recon and all these things. Now we'll be jumping on to these things like how can we actually perform visual recon to get out the things. So you can simply go to the Go Witness hyphen H for help menu. We all know that. Nothing big with it. So we can just do, file hyphen H. Let's see. So with file hyphen F we can give like HTTPX, and then we need a very basic output. We're not doing anything extra here. You can simply do, exact location or give it an exact output location, right? Now let's do enter here, not giving the location. All these things or all the folders are being created here, as you can see, with the titles and all what's going behind the scenes. So let's see what I have in the output, but till that, let's take a look on other things. So now we know the JS recon, right? I already told you how to do JS recon in a very basic way. You all know that we can simply go to all the JS files and literally do all these tools. So you can use the JSecrets for it. You can use JSecrets and it will give you this categorized output with all the tools, all the things it can find in the URLs. Also, you can go with the Nuclei, you can go with the GSF scan, all these tools, right? These are always available to us. But we need to do a few more things with it. It's not enough. So we will wait for all this output, but let's take a look if I can go to this output terminal, target, and Tesla. Now we are having the screenshot folder here. Let me change it to gallery. And you can see we are having all the outputs like very specified ones at what's going on each domain. And now this thing can help us a lot because in many cases finding this type of domains or finding a lot of internal domains can help us a lot in multiple ways. You might be having some sort of page which can give you maybe some sort of very important information, maybe a hidden portal, maybe this type of things. So you can even use visual recon on the fuzzing parts. Now, if we are talking about fuzzing, if we are talking about fuzzing, let's jump onto it. So it's kind of a very controversial topic that what should we do when doing fuzzing, on what parameters we need to do fuzzing. So fuzzing is kind of a very important thing. You need to do it in the intelligent way, not the dumbest way you can do. So usually suppose you are having a domain like let's say that domain.com and a lot of subdomains of it. So you can't just simply go and do, fuff and just use it. No, we don't do that. Fuzzing can help in a lot of ways. You can try to find subdomains using for FFUF tool or fuzzing. You can try to get the exact files on it. So suppose there is AM going on, or let's say there is some sort of Drupal going on. So you can try to use Wordlist according to it. Suppose you are having a response code of 404, not found, not found. So you can use anything like a big collection of it based on services. Maybe you are having 403. you can use the bypass based list of it. You can't do it in the dumbest way. If you have 401, same. Now, sometimes 404 is also replaced when you are trying to access some file which is already on the server, but the developers don't want you to take a look on it. So, on that note, they will also make the custom error which is 404. So, you can also use the brute force list for it, right? The random list for it. Now, when you're having a very domain, something like internal or very weird domain which is working behind the scenes, now most probably people will go to that domain, the hunter will go to that domain and try to find the files here. Look, JS files is not only Wayback. You should definitely go for the file based scans. Suppose you want JSON files, good with it. JSON files, brute force them. Now, how to get all this word list? Let me show you. So let me go to my Brave browser here. Let's type checklist. We have the checklist, and then we have asset note, word list. We have these two very important things, right? If you wanna go for the, let's say you wanna go for PHP, do this. You wanna go for JSPA, good. You wanna find HTML, you wanna find directories, you can do this thing. There's something called CGI. You know what is CGI, right? We all know that. If you wanna go with that, you can try to do this type of things. And there is a CGI is going on. And there's ASPX, right? So now why do we do all this type of file based fuzzings? Why are we looking for file fuzzing? Why we are trying to do or use this word list? So finding or fuzzing for files is very important, more than we understand. Because in many JSON files we got info leaked. In many ASPX files, you don't know what's going on there. Maybe if I just talk about XML, you can try to brute force it. So if you're having a VP as an extra laptop or you are not doing anything actively on your device, so it's way powerful, then yep, if you're having a strong internet connection along with the exact requirements for it, then I will say definitely use fuzzing recursively on targets because that will give you a very, very good approach. It's not only about this specific number of outputs we have. We need to find a lot of things here, right? Fuzzing is kind of getting the information out of the box as much as we can. Then, is fuzzing is limited to this? No, fuzzing is not limited to it. Now, as I said, you can find subdomains with it. So you can definitely do like fuff-u and then use fuzz.domain.com. Now, how to get word list for it? Here we have the word list. Now, as I said, you need to go with the technology-based word list. Now, yep, we have that one too. Kite runner word list technologies like host mapping. This is not actually the word list; it's the host mapping. Then generated word list. Now you want to find any random thing ASPX lowercase based on GitHub dataset. Here it is. 2 million subdomains from the GitHub dataset on big queries. You can take a look on the .bak files, your .cfm, .files, HTML, and JSP. Now, are we only doing these things? No, we can do a lot of things with it. This is not limited to all these things. We can definitely do a lot of things with it. Now, if I just go to checklist, now you can see there's a very good collection of it. Passwords, fuzzing, and we'll go to fuzzing. You can drop your questions if you have any questions or doubts in the chat section. You want to take a look on the XSS and all these things. 3-digit fuzzing, then you can simply go to the meta character fuzzing, SSL injection fuzzing, URI hacks, all these things. Now, checklist is not, it is not just said that okay, it's having a good collection, but it is definitely having a very good and updated collection in many ways. Because we really need a lot of content that we can play with, right? So that thing is really helpful. Now uh, our visual recon was finished. Let's take a look here. Let's see if there's something which is not very usual. Okay, we got this type of sign in portal. We don't know what it is. We can try things on it. Okay, now we don't know what is postmark. We got emails delivered, right? Now we don't know what it is. Let me go to the information section. Okay, here I am having the exact domain name. And let me copy it. Okay, I can just definitely do brute force it, but we'll just try to grab it. Let's see how many domains we are having like this. So if I just do grab of it, okay, we got the PM hyphen bounces. Let's see. Until it's opening, let's take a look on other ones. DNS will look 404 found. You can definitely do fuzzing on it. One more domain. Now the domain that are easily redirected, like suppose there's a domain, let's say, or sub dot domain dot com. If it is redirected to main domain dot com, always try to fuzz this one with the biggest collection you have. That would be really helpful. Okay, okay, we got something like this. Login by email, login. Okay, okay. Let's do a get info. And then okay, we got apps.tesla.com. We'll just try to open it. Tesla authentication, we don't know what it is. You can definitely take a look on it too. Auth-global tesla.com. Good. Not gonna open it. One more login page for billing.tesla.com. Just a logo on business UI ownership. Okay, I think I accidentally deleted it. No worries. Okay, let me just go to get info. I can try to open this one. Okay, there is something only written here. Access token not present. You can definitely brute force this if you want to. Few more, right? So this is how you use Visual Tech on Cloudinary. Why? Digital assets and shop. Let's see what's going on here. Let me copy it. Authentication error 500. Good. On ehs.tesla.com. Now, yep. Okay, there is something very simple present here. Quick links and VI information. Okay, we can definitely do a look on it. epc.tesla.com. Good. Default IIS page. Now I'm not gonna scroll too much here. I'm not gonna waste your time. You guys can do this by yourself because there's a lot of things going on here. And one more thing that we can definitely do a relative stuff is very simple. Let's suppose you got some sort of domains with uh, unintended, or let's say with weird or unusual things going on, then always do a wayback of it. Maybe you can get a lot of tokens, maybe you can get a lot of information using it, and that is really helpful. I can't take the company name, but that has given me a lot of scopes there. As I was talking about JS files, you can try to find their own specific JS files. Like suppose I'm just closing it here and we just found the PM bounce, right? I can try to do things on it. Then let me just go to mobile.tesla.com. Okay, I don't want to do things on it. Let's take a look on business UI ownership. Can we get anything from FFUF or like Waybacks? So let's take a look on it. You don't have to do Wayback always on the terminal. You can always use this type of websites here. So let me go to the maybe let's go for Wayback. Let's see if you find anything. Nothing here. That's good. Let's try to change it to. There's some image that is getting redirected to Cloudinary. We need to take a look on it. Let's take a look on the mobile.tesla.com. Okay, now we are having few JS files. We are having few JS files. You can just do like, mobile, paste all the files here, save it, get the mobile, get all the .js, and use JSecrets. We can do this thing, right? I'm using JSecrets for a very simple and very easy, but you don't have to use JSecrets. You can use the other methods I told you. It is not just about JSecrets. We can do a lot of things. Definitely. Now, if you're asking about this website, here is the website that you can use for doing a very simplified, docking. If you want to find WordPress, click on it. WordPress websites, maybe. You can try to find S3 buckets, find WordPress, go with the subdomains, Ocean, DigitalOcean, and finding subdomains using Google, all these types of very basic stuff. You can try to find directory listing. One of my favorite things, not showing anything. Cool. We will do like site colon and do something like, okay, not this, site colon. Can go with something like remove the locks on tesla.com. Nothing here. That's good. Try to add here. Okay, nothing. Let's remove it. Okay, there might be some sort of things, but they're not actually the indexes what we wanted. No issues. We can take a look on other things like open book bounty git folders, but these are not git folders. Find PHP in Wayback, only specific PHP files. These days, we are only talking about the basic things of the JS files, but it's not only about JS files. We need to also take a look on the PHPs. Apache config files. We don't know if there is ones. Okay, I'm not a robot. APIs. Good. Even though you have this much good website, but you still have to do it manually because manually you will find a lot of things. You have a good approach on it. That would the whole GitHub Recon and all this type of processes. Now, unusual things should be brute forced. The things that the response code, this type of things should definitely be used to try to fuzz. And also, if you think that you get 403 on fuzzing or getting any files but giving a 403, try bypasses, man. If you are looking for bypasses, I have already made a lot of docs here, right? You can download the whole folder of this and have a look on all the docs. There is a lot of docs, there's a lot of bypasses, all these things mentioned in it. So you guys can definitely take a look on it. Security headers, we don't need to take a look on it for now. But yes, all the security headers are here. Content, CSP, Xframe, content types, all these things are here. Let's take a look on scan over HTTPS. So yes, over HTTPS we're still having missing this. If you know the header importance, yes, it would be very useful. Alright. Now, in the basic concept of fuzzing, good. Very good. Now, let's take a look what's going on here. Akamai bot manager. PDF.js. Good. What's going on here? Same, but a bit different. What's this Nginx going on? Now, there was a very simple thing. Just someone asked me that how to try to find all these, basic things like how can I try to find the technologies. I must name it text. Not good with spellings. So, finding technology can be very simple. Like you can use tech detect templates from Nuclei. Look, using Nuclei is not a bad thing. If you know how to use it intelligently or on the basis of your purposes, that can be a very, very good thing. Like it's not limited to some of the very basic or boring things. But if you know how to use it properly, that can be a very good thing. You can use Nuclei for tech detections, versions, or trying to find expired plugins, right? All the things going behind the scenes, like server grabbing and all this type of basic things. But if you use Nuclei for detections and identifying very basic things, then Yep, Nuclei can be very helpful to you. Nuclei don't want to be, a very boring tool. It's really a real helpful tool when you are using it for the right purposes. Now, expired plugin tag detection, good. We are good to go here. We still have to do a lot of things on this tool. Someone asked about Recon Bootcamp, so yes, it is gonna be there. Let me show you a command. It's the bootcamp. It will be started on 5 April. Today is 1 April. I think the dates are 5 April to 10 April. So, yep, I'll be taking a look on that on the 10 April and see you there. For those who are interested, let me know. I'll be dropping the link here. Anyway, Tesla, we don't know what is postmark going on. We can Google it. We can take a look on it. Right, postmark email delivery service that people actually like. Maybe if there's email delivery services, if you know what's going on, you can take a look on it. So now Irene is telling me that how to try to find the things going behind the scenes, and if you know that okay, there is a suppose postmark going on, if there is some sort of other service going on, how to try to pen test it. So it's simple. Any service you are complicated with, you have two options: documentation or crash course on YouTube. And there's a very catchy thing here, which is securing it. So suppose what do I mean by securing it? If I just go to the YouTube here, just type some sort of Drupal securing. Right now there is a how to keep secure and safe Drupal 8. Now if you are able to understand that okay we can secure the Drupal using XYZ methods, then you can still know the bypasses of it. Right? Also, if you're asking about how to find the bypasses, how to find the CVs, then yes, as I said, if you know there's expired plugins not working properly, these type of things, you can definitely take a look on the CVs, because CVs will help you a lot in bug bounty field instead of all the other things. All right, got it till now? I hope it's clear till here. All right, I guess it's clear. Now, let's move to the other topics. Like, okay, now we know this is going as planned about the bypasses and all these things like fuzzing and all these things. So if you even find fuzzing or directory while fuzzing, fuzz the directory again and again. Suppose you find domain.com slash internal slash admin, right? Now after admin, try to do the fuzzing again, because that can help you a lot when going with the with going with the outputs, because you need the real outputs here. You are not working for just some sort of basic things. You need the outputs. You need the results here. So that's the thing. Now, documentation, crash courses, not crash courses, YouTube securing it, that can help you a lot. Then you can have notes from it. To be honest, if you have notes of any sort of vulnerabilities, you are making notes, that would be very good. If you are trying to make your own fuzzing list using Twitter, that can be a very good idea. All right. Now, all these things are good here. Now, what we can do here is the further steps. You can try for um, going for docking. So you guys know what is docking. We have made a whole detailed video with lots of docs. So I'm not carrying the same topic again and again here. But you guys can definitely have a look on what we can do with docking. There's a whole different video made on it. You can just definitely take a look on the docking videos, the Google docking. and GitHub docking. There's the live hunting session of the docking session. Have a deep look onto it because the docking spaces or docking part is very good. We have to master it in short. What docs you can use, how can you make your own docs. These things are all mentioned there. Now, now you're going for docking. There is a process. Suppose if you're doing GitHub docking, I'm not marking Google here. If you're doing GitHub docking, that is the things. So suppose you found credentials. In the upcoming sessions, I will show the POC with the blurred targets that how can you find the credentials going on for XYZ platforms. We have found a lot of credentials using GitHub docking. You can find a very simple admin password logins or maybe some sort of portal logins. So on that note, just GitHub docking can be used. They can give you potential data, potential credentials. What docs to use? I have mentioned all of them on the GitHub, so don't worry about it. You don't have to take a very uh, deep dive into all the Google. I have made a good list of it that you can use. And there's a thing I told in the video which is narrowing the target. So we are also doing that. So we found credentials, right? How to do it? Check them. If they are valid, then do a thing. Check about the portal. Check portal. Internal or anyone can register. If anyone can register, come on. There is not much that you can do, but still report that thing. But if it's something that you can't register or only few people or only selected ones can register, then you have to do one more step. If only selected people can register, then you have to do one more thing, which is checking profile. Suppose my GitHub developer is let's say designer, or let's say UI UX designer in the domain.com. Then yep, designer is having the his or her email IDs or the credentials leaked, and that can be a good thing because this type of things can help you a lot when you're trying or going for dockings. Same on the Google. Google will not easily give you the things like there's a saying that if you're going for Dorking, GitHub is for credentials, Google is for the files, right? So you can definitely take a look on the files specifically, then directories. You can try to find the directory traversal or maybe let's say the index of things. So if you are able to find the index of things, you can find a lot of things. And still, there are few tricks. If you can find GitHub written in the Wayback, try to open all the URLs. If you're having the directories or let's say some sort of things written into the domains, do it because dockings can help you a lot. And also, as we're talking about the JS things, if you're having a verb suite, always use JS minor on it because that will give you a very good approach of it. In the upcoming session, I will tell you how to use verb suite for the best way possible and how to use verb suite for the finding the bugs, not actually using it as an interceptor. You can do a lot of things with verb suite. Verb suite is not limited to just the proxy repeater intruder. There's a lot of things going on behind the scenes. Okay. All right, everyone. Good. Now let's take a look on the places like everyone is asking about. Can we use GitHub docking tools? So there's a lot of tools like if you just type GitHub docking tools. Right, so there are a lot of GitHub docs tools. There's a lot of tools that can help you to find GitHub docking automatically or by just using the APIs. So I will never prefer them because we have to eventually do all these things manually, and that's where the real uh, actual skills are there. And we don't have to do the very recursive process of using the tools one by one. No, we don't do that. We need to do it one by one by its individually. Doing docs manually, narrowing down your approaches. If I tell about the exact docking, then there is much more things like Shodan, Shodan, Census, FOFA, Hunter. I will just tell them in the upcoming session, not now, or maybe in the recorded video, not now. But yep, these things are way helpful than we can imagine. This can also give you the potential vulnerabilities CVs by just using them. I'll tell them because live 3 will be telling you in the live 3, not this one. For now, let's just skip it and stick to docking. Docking is not limited to these two things. We have to do on all these things, including Zoom Eye. You can use that one too for doing a potential docking or finding multiple vulnerabilities. Okay, now few more things. We need to take a look on few more things. So Google, GitHub, good. We are done with that. We are done with the JS thing. We are done with the exact methodology that we need to do about this. Now we can use docs to find credentials. You need to hit and try on it. And there's one more announcement. I'll be launching a free bootcamp for all the hunters about the reconnaissance and all these things. So make sure you are sticking to that because we'll be going with the live sessions. We'll be going to the doing all this live on some sort of private meets and see you guys in the that bootcamp too. In the upcoming videos, I'll be sharing the dates. I'll be sharing the free course for it. All right, everyone. Now, finding subdomain is not easy task. So I'm not using any sort of nuclei on it. I'm just using this exact methodology, subfinder, with minimum of 5 API keys mentioned, CRTSH with this command. Then you can go with the ASN numbers and then finding subdomains of it, and you will get eventually a S3 file name, which is the third level of subdomains. You are having, subdomain output from 5 tools, combine all of them, and find subdomains of them again and again using IMAS. And that is well efficient, nothing else, nothing special. What do you want? You can just DM on this chat. I'll just reply to it. Anyway, let's jump on the other things. Now, Dorking, good. We are going with these things. Okay, let's take a look on the other topics that we have. We are having a lot of topics than this. So if I just go to contents, you can definitely take a look on this course. This is a different recon thing. Open ports, enumeration, file enumeration, third-party services, WAF misconfigurations. Okay, WAF misconfigs. So look, I will use the word list from asset note for finding subdomains. Okay. So, um, WAF. What is WAF? Web Application Firewall. There's one more thing, the CD, and we'll just take a look on it further. Right? We know a lot of web application firewalls like Cloudflare, and we have a lot of collection of it. But look, WAF doesn't mean secure. Okay, always been keeping that mind. WAF is not, like okay, it's secure. No, WAF is not secure. So if it is configured properly, you will get your exact answer that okay, I would like to go with pen testing like that. But if it is not configured properly, that would be a big issue for us. Because let's say WAF is not configured properly, you can simply bypass it by double quotes or maybe using double slashes. So the misconfiguration is a very big issue. If you remember this particular video of the channel, I have made a whole giveaway for XSS bypasses. If WAF is not configured properly, we can definitely bypass the whole XSS thing. Have a look on that if you don't remember about it, the art of XSS. So finding WAF misconfiguration is simple. Have a look on Wayback, how things are working, and then you can jump on it. Now, there's a thing that everyone was asking me that how to do recon, how to do recon. Look, recon is containing of three steps, in my opinion. So you simply go to approach a web app, find, or let's say explore its uses. Now, exploring is doesn't mean that okay you're trying to go and sign up. No, if it's a big website, check documents, check YouTube, or let's say check clients of it. You can check their YouTube for functions like adding or hiding something else. You can take a look on their business model. Simple, not a big deal. You can simply Google it. If you explore their users, then explore web app. And the main thing is observe. If you're observing all the things one by one in a precise way, that okay, we are having store websites, the approach of web application would be simple. Now you are clear that you are having a good functions like you're having signups, logins, cart, coupons, all this type of thing, business logic books, and all these things. So when you are doing approach, you are very clear with what we need to check one by one. So approaching will give you a checklist. You can make your own checklist. These are all my checklist here. You can use them. Okay. Then you have the checklist. You know what to test on which function. Now checklist. What does a checklist look like? Checklist doesn't mean that okay we need to check all these books. Nope. I don't make checklist like that. At least I'll make it a very simple idea of it. Checklist should be simple. Checklist should be simple. You have OAuth. Good. Now in OAuth, what you need to try? Name all of them. You know what you want to try? Name all of them. Simple. I would like to try this and this and this and this. Make a whole checklist of what you want to try on each type of functionalities. Okay, I'm done with OAuth. I'll go to the cart. I'll go to the coupons. I'll go to the other functions like all the other ones. If you want me to make a checklist for the other types of websites, let me know. I'll make one. Checklist should look like this. Its uses. Suppose this exact website is a store website. It is supposed to sell products to worldwide to a specific location, right? That's good. Business model, right? Like yeah, what they are doing, all these things. Web application. Now this is the main thing. In your application, you need to upload technology. You take a look on the functions, or I'll say incorrect inputs, behavior to files and fuzzing. Now, these are the minor things, very small things that you need to focus on, but they can get or give you a lot of details exposed, and that's why we use this type of checklist or the exact approaches. And if you're trying to explore them using all these functions, all the pages, right? Then you have to observe all these things. The same as that, right? How each thing is reacting and how can you bypass it. And the main thing that you have is Google. You can Google it, and that's all. You are hackers, you need to take a look on the Google. Ob- Observation would be the key. If there is a student from any of my batch, you guys know that observation can be a very rewarding topic. So always focus on observation. And in the before the upcoming videos, I'll share the free bug bounty course with the checklist for specific bugs. Alright, everyone. And I guess this was for today's session. If you guys have any question, let me know. I'm here for the next 3 minutes. Next live video might be dependent on all these things, so it might be a little bit lengthy or a little bit with more time consuming. So we'll make it on that specific time. And drop the time that you would prefer to take a look on the YouTube, or you guys are available in the most. In the comments, I would like to definitely take a look on that. So I don't think there's any questions, and we can definitely close this one. So last minute, if you have any questions, drop it here. Hello. Hey buddy, hello. No worries, man. We're almost about to end. Okay, so let's end it. Have a great day, everyone. See you guys in the upcoming live.